good to be back at Parallel 44 in Wisconsin, which is where I live. And I'm here with Steve Johnson, and I'm here with his son, Isaac. And Steve is the owner of Parallel 44 as well as Door 44. Steve, how you doing?
Very good, Ray. It's great to have you back. We go way back now.
We do, yeah.
We're getting old.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, you go back to almost the beginning of the podcast, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
And Isaac is the new generation here in Kewanee as well, Door County.
Yep, that's right. I've never been on the podcast. I've heard him speak. Sometimes it's on the radio, but it's fun to be here in person now, actually see it happen.
Yeah, well, he's famous. Well, thanks for taking the time today. We're here on a Monday and getting a little chilly out. We're headed towards winter. It's been a little bit of frost. But you're finished with harvest per se. You're not picking anymore.
That's correct. The grapes have been brought in. Many have been pressed, but we still need to finish punch downs in some of the reds and get those pressed within the next week or so. But Isaac's learned the physical labor involved with punch downs, so he's got to enjoy the smells, but he's had to work.
Yeah, I mean, you got the punch downs, and then you got the CO2 building up. You're tired as is, and then you already have the extra CO2 just making you feel even more droopy.
So, Isaac, were you an early draftee into the business here? Were you working when you were kids in the vineyards, or?
Yeah, I would say not a draftee per se, but a voluntary kind of worker. You know, if I wanted to come here on the weekends and they were doing something, I would come here. And so I was never forced into it, but I always was exposed to basically everything they were doing. And it was seen as like something that's fun for me as like a little kid, you know. Dad's out there, you know, moving around, physical activity. I thought it was just a fun thing to do. So I got exposed to a lot, and I didn't really know what was going on, but I think that's the beauty of it. If I knew exactly what was going on, I'd be like, you know, what, I don't want to do this. Like, I'd never get into this. And so then basically throughout summer, as I was always here, between school years, and, you know, you learn new things every year in terms of just like how to work for someone, how to work with people, and then also obviously about, you know, the different conditions and really what's going on. And each year you build a new responsibility, and all of a sudden you realize, oh, maybe there is something actually like real about this. There's like a whole operation, and then you just keep learning, and yeah, it's still trying to put it all together and figure out exactly what I want to do, but it's been quite a journey.
You don't really know exactly what you want to do at this point. Is that fair to say?
Sure.
Okay, that's good. I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to make you feel real proud, Steve, to have your son.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the perks of this job is that we started this venture with 3 kids under the age of 3. So in many respects, it's stressful because you need to balance family life with work. But I think we've done a good job of incorporating it such that they've enjoyed it and we've enjoyed it, and we haven't sacrificed a lot of things that kids would have to go through if their parents were really involved in the business. But somehow we incorporated their personalities with our personalities and the work demands, and everyone's had a good time.
So once again, as I always say many times when we're at wineries, and we're here in the cellar at Parallel 44, this is a working place. We got somebody out there cutting lawn. We're in farm country here because we are away from things. But how far are we from Lake Michigan?
About 7 to 8 miles off the shore of the east side or the west side of Lake Michigan.
So what kind of effect does Lake Michigan have when you grow grapes there?
It's a moderating effect, like most large bodies of water near wine country. It basically delays the bud break in the spring and extends the season a bit in the summer because of the warmth of the lake. And we do have onshore breezes that come in the summertime, which help moderate those warmer temperatures.
How many acres are you farming here in Kewanee, and how many are you in Door County?
So we have 8 acres here at Parallel 44 in Kewanee County, and about 5 acres up in north of Sturgeon Bay in Door County. And then we work with growers all across the state because we are Wisconsin ground to glass.
And again, making the point that there are 2 wineries. One is called Parallel 44, which is the one we're in, and the other is called Door 44, as relates to Door County.
Correct. The busy season just concluded here, but there's over 2 million visitors a year that go past our doors up there.
You started this because of your dad, as I recall.
Yeah, I mean, in part, both my father and Maria's father dabbled in the grape growing and winemaking aspect of things, so it's partly in our blood. But we were both former attorneys, so we've changed careers quite a while ago, and it's been very rewarding, even though we had no idea what we were getting into. Even the first time that we talked, you'd think, well, Steve kind of knew what he was doing then. I really didn't, so I like to say I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do when I grow up.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But it's that kind of a business. It's not something you can lay out a perfect business plan. I can't imagine going to a bank and talking about, I'd like to start a vineyard and open a winery.
It's funny that you say, yeah, because I'm writing a book now, and part of the book is about that first experience of going to the bank to get a loan. And all I could really do is cobble together anecdotal stories from the West Coast because there were no comparables here. So I think a lot of the, because Maria was working partly in the past in a bank, I think we got some benefit of the doubt there, but I'm sure most of the people reviewing the loan application would be like, what exactly is this person trying to do here?
Lose his mind. When did you decide you wanted to write a book, and when do you find the time?
Yeah, I mean, it's been germinating in my mind for quite a while, but I just figured at some point, you talk to enough customers and you get a lot of repeated questions like, well, maybe, I shouldn't just assume they know the story, and maybe there's something to contribute here. So it's not so much a book per se about wine and its intricacies. It's more about the journey I took into something that no one anticipated I would do. And I hope it serves as sort of an inspiration to people to go pursue their own passion, to be a pioneer in something that they didn't think was possible. So there's certainly wine-related themes to this, but really it's meant to be sort of a memoir on how to pursue your own passion in life.
It's really something you could leave behind as well.
Right, yeah, I like to say it's good therapy. I mean, to put stuff on pieces of paper kind of really makes you remember certain things that you had forgotten, and that's really critical in terms of like life's this never-ending journey, and you don't know where you're going to go unless you understand your past. So it's kind of helped me kind of conceptualize what we've done and where I want to go.
Do you make notes about everything you do here? Do you keep a journal about one particular grape you worked with, or that kind of thing?
It has not been as rigorous as one would like. My family would laugh at me. I have little pieces of paper everywhere, and it's not organized in any fashion. But you'll be talking to my assistant Bennett here, and he's actually very good at that. And so that is a real critical aspect that's often overlooked in this business, is to keep good records. Even at the end of the day when you're exhausted, you forget things. And sometimes they can be great insights that are lost to the prior vintage if you don't record it.
Would maybe some of those pages make it into your book?
Good idea.
I suppose that's a possibility. I never thought about that.
I would do that in a heartbeat, because it's inside the mind of the winemaker.
It's a scary place.
Yeah, a very crazy place. Isaac, what about you? Have you ever made any notes about what you're doing here to maybe help you make that decision down the road?
Well, to talk about the booker, I think that is actually pretty helpful, not just for him, but like for me as well. Like, you always think you know what's going on in your friends' heads or your parents' heads or your family's heads. But like, I've only read a little bit of it. I've only gotten access to a little bit. But even just those like few opening paragraphs in the stories, I'm like, I had no idea that this was what was going on. And it's like, yeah, it's probably therapeutic for you, but it's also like really cool for me to see there is a vision, and it's not like, oh, a lot of the work we do, we just plug away and we have to just get done with this task or this task. But I'm like, what's motivating him to keep going? Like, even I can't picture what's going on. So to see that vision, to see like what has happened and what he thinks could happen is also very inspiring for me. So it's, I guess, maybe unintentionally planted seeds in my mind as well, which I haven't fully tended to by like kind of going full in at this point. But yeah, just how we got here and what it could be is something that's very, very inspiring for me as well.
It's really hard to think about being a parent, being an attorney, because you were still a working attorney back then, as
Correct.
was your wife.
Right.
And I talk about wearing multiple hats, but this is wearing hats, spinning plates, walking across a crocodile-infested pond. Man, that's a lot of stuff.
Right, and that's a big part of the book, and I think most people think like, okay, if this is a book sort of about being an entrepreneur, he's going to say something about the fact that you need this really well thought out plan and prepared for it and planned for it. And there's nothing wrong with that, but in the end, I knew that if you prepared forever, you would have regrets because you'd miss out on things. And some things, especially this, pioneering a new wine region, there's not a textbook on it. So it'd be wasting my time to sit there and think it through a million different ways. Sometimes you just got to roll up your sleeves and get at it. So
being you are of legal age, Isaac, we can talk about this and not have to feel like we're cheating or anything. As you got of age, were you drinking wine, or were you just a typical kid drinking beer? I mean, where was your head at?
I was drinking wine, not like the Europeans would, or not like as you envision that. But I would remember we'd be on the patio, eating hamburgers, and it'd be summertime or just like fall time, and I would just out playing with my neighbors and like, here, have a little sip of this. It would be whatever they were drinking, maybe some stuff here as well. It was always, it's just like the novelty of it. You're like, oh, I'm trying something new. And also it's like you go back and tell your friends, like, yeah, I had a little bit of like mom or dad's wine tonight. Like, that gives you like a level of street credit when you're a kid. And
well, you were often quizzed on like, what do you smell? What do you taste?
Yeah, right.
Because I thought it was
True.
important to incorporate the notion of wine is a beverage to use your senses to think. It's not just for inebriation. So it's a skill set, I think, that helps you become more appreciative of food, wine, and just being in the moment. So you were constantly quizzed, even as a young kid, as to like, what do you smell? What does it make you think about?
Yeah. I also remember like going to college for the first time, and I was like seeing people drink. I was like, what are they doing? Like, do you not realize you just like sit down and just like have a glass or two? It's like these kids have never seen alcohol. I'm not promoting underage drinking here, but there is a value that I saw in appreciating wine as just like a supplement to your meal. It's just like, it's just what you do. And it's like seeing that as like a culture shift. And I grew up in Wisconsin, so I knew when I was going to the University of Wisconsin kind of what I would get into. But I was like, oh, this is weird. Like, what are these people doing? Just do it how we normally do it here. Just drink a glass and enjoy it.
Steve, one of the things we talked about a while ago, which I found really intriguing, is your focus, wanting to take your focus to sparkling wine because of what you can do here in Wisconsin. And you said you've gotten an incredibly good response to that. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it all started with being at a conference over 10 years ago, sitting right next to a winemaker from Champagne, France. And he, I think, was a little annoyed with me because I was complaining about how it's so much easier to make wine in Europe than in Wisconsin. And then he spun around and he said, hey, you should come over to Champagne in the summertime. You're going to find that our summers are cooler than yours. We're the world's best in making sparkling wine because we have the perfect climate of a cooler climate that lends itself to higher acidities and lower sugars. Why don't you try to make a sparkling wine? So no one had made a sparkling wine from Wisconsin-grown grapes up to that point. We made it. My wife got sick of me talking about how this is the first Wisconsin grape-grown wine. Just call it something really Wisconsin-y and just be done with it. So the term bubbler was used because only Wisconsinites use the word bubbler for water fountains.
That's very true.
And it has won many competitions. It is just, the judges love it because, like I said, there's so much acidity, so high aromatics because of our cooler climate, that there are times where I think, Wisconsin maybe should just take the model of Champagne and just do sparkling wines because this could be the best part of America in terms of sparkling wine production, in terms of our soils and climate and varietals that we have.
Isaac, for our listeners who'd like to come by and taste, whether it be here or at Door 44, can you just come by? Do you need to make an appointment? How does it work here?
No, you do not need to make an appointment. You just come by for a tasting and then buy as many bottles as you want and walk away with a good experience.
The man has the marketing side down already. And Steve, for our listeners, how would they learn about you online? Parallel44.com, and you'll find both of our locations on that website. We make over 35 different wines, and you're going to experience Wisconsin from ground to glass. Everything that you're tasting on those tasting notes is from Wisconsin. Excellent. Steve, Isaac, thank you both for taking your Monday morning to spend with me for a little while. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Ray. We do too.
Thank you.